The city of New York was glowing under the golden lights of sunset, skyscrapers slicing the sky like sharp dreams. Liam Carter, 24, stood on the roof of a tiny Brooklyn apartment, his sketchbook fluttering in the evening wind. He had come to the city with a single suitcase and an impossible dream to become an architect who would change skylines. But that dream was slipping away fast. Rejections piled up, rent was overdue, and confidence was vanishing. The city that once felt full of possibility now felt like a storm he couldn't survive. One evening, after yet another failed interview, Liam stopped by a small coffee shop on Fifth Avenue called the Brew House. He sat in the corner, drowning in caffeine and disappointment. And then she walked in Alina Rivers. She wasn't loud or dramatic, just effortlessly radiant, like she carried her own sunlight. She was sketching something too, her pencil dancing across a napkin. He couldn't help but ask, "Are you an artist?" She smiled, looking up with kind but mischievous eyes. "No. But maybe art is what happens when design forgets its rules." That single sentence hit him deeper than any lecture ever had. They started talking to strangers, suddenly not strangers anymore. Over the next weeks, Liam found himself visiting the brew house every day. Alina worked as a freelance interior designer, full of ideas, full of chaos. She had dreams of opening a design studio that felt more like a home than an office where creativity wasn't measured in money but in meaning. She became his anchor in the chaos, and he, her quiet strength. Months turned into seasons. New York turned from cold to kind. They explored art galleries, midnight rooftops, and late-night diners where dreams were planned on napkins and coffee stains. Liam started sketching again with passion this time, not pressure. Elena helped him apply to competitions and portfolio showcases. She believed in him when he couldn't, and slowly his world began to change. He got accepted into a young architects program in Chicago. It was everything he'd ever wanted. But when he told Alina, her smile faltered. "That's amazing, Liam. I'm so proud," she said softly. But her eyes told another story. They both knew it meant distance. She had just been offered her first big project in New York. Their dreams were about to pull them in opposite directions. He said, "We can make it work." She said, "I hope so, but life doesn't always listen to hope." 6 months later, they were in different cities, living in different time zones of emotion. Calls became shorter, texts fewer. Work consumed them both. Liam buried himself in blueprints. Alina drowned in deadlines. The last time they spoke, it wasn't an argument, it was silence. A silence that said, maybe love isn't enough right now. Days turned into months. He missed her in the way people miss home. But he also began to realize something powerful. She had awakened something inside him that would never die. Her belief in him had built a foundation stronger than any concrete. Years passed. Liam became one of the youngest architects to design a sustainable city project in Seattle. He was standing at the grand opening ceremony when he saw something in the crowd, a familiar face. Alina. Time had changed her, yet her smile was still the same, soft, radiant, real. She walked up to him after the event. "You did it," she said, tears glimmering. "So did you," he replied, noticing the design firm logo on her card. They talked like old friends, no anger, no regret, just gratitude. She told him she now ran her own studio in New York, the same dream they had built on napkins years ago. He smiled, realizing she had kept her promise to herself, just as he had. Before leaving, she looked at him and said, "Maybe we weren't meant to last, Liam. Maybe we were meant to start." He nodded slowly, his voice trembling. "You taught me how to fly, Alina, even when you weren't there to catch me." And for a moment, silence returned, but this time it was beautiful. That night, Liam walked along the empty streets of Seattle. The city lights shimmered on the water like memories of her eyes. He smiled, not out of sadness, but peace. Love had not failed them, it had forged them. Sometimes love isn't about ending up together. It's about helping each other become who they were always meant to be. He opened his phone and found an old voice message from her, one he had saved for years. "Don't give up on your dreams, Liam. Promise me you'll build something that outlives you." He whispered back to the wind, "I did, and it began with you." The waves crashed softly, and in that moment, he realized love never truly leaves. It transforms. It lingers in art, in dreams, in the courage to begin again.